Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan taking back in with another video. First things first, if you're watching this video, go ahead and drop a like, drop a sub, and drop a comment as well. Now, just to recap, Nick Walker did win the 2021 Arnold Classic. Yes, Nick Walker shocked the world. And if you guys watch the channel, you know that I wanted Nick to win the show, but I felt like the Arnold usually rewards more aesthetic physiques. But as we can see from this year and all of the drama that's going on with the scorecards, looks like the Arnold is kind of going in a different direction now. And I probably say that's because the Open is becoming more of how big can you get and how conditioned can you get with the best symmetry, and classic physique is the more classic guys. But I just wanted to recap on Nick Walker winning the Arnold Classic because it's still kind of hard to believe. Definitely knew that Nick could do it, but Nick has won the second and third biggest shows in bodybuilding, and he just turned pro last year. So huge shout out to Nick Walker. And coming in fourth place at the Arnold Classic was Justin Rodriguez. And of course, you guys know I love Justin's physique, man. He's very aesthetic, reminds me a lot of Sean Roden in the front double bicep. And if you watched my video, I forgot to put him in my top 6. I had him placing 7th with Bonek in the show. And then I clarified that I had Justin placing 6th with Bonek out of the show. But a lot of people didn't even mention his name. I honestly just felt like Justin needed more size on his legs. But honestly, his legs only look a little weak from behind. I feel like from the front and from the side, they look pretty good. And here you'll see the transformation that Justin made. I believe this was in only 3 days. And man, he looks amazing from the side. Look at his hamstring. Look at his chest. And I'm very excited to see what Justin is going to bring to the Mr. Olympia stage, man. He's definitely one of my favorite new guys. And switching over to Classic for a second, I have to talk about Alex Cambranero because I told you guys before the Arnold Classic, I wasn't a big fan of his physique. Not saying that he was bad, but I definitely have became a fan. I feel like he could have beat Terrence if he just improves his posing. I feel like Terrence edged him out, honestly, by just having that amazing posing routine. But I definitely am a fan of Alex Cambranero. Now, he has a very clean and aesthetic physique. And I like the Mass Monsters as well, but I also like the very clean, proportioned classic physiques. So a huge shout out to Alex Cambranero. In our next story of the day, we're going to take a look at Regan Grimes, who posted up this transformation from him in classic physique to him currently. And man, on the right, Regan just looks huge, just has tons and tons of muscles stacked on top of each other, and he definitely wasn't meant for the classic physique division. His chest does look a little weak in this pose, but probably only because it's kind of getting overshadowed by his delts. His arms look pretty good in this pose, but they aren't usually the best. So I'm excited to see what Regan is going to bring to the stage, man. You guys know that I compare him with Justin Rodriguez a lot, and with Justin placing as high as 4th at this Arnold Classic, I feel like Regan can definitely make some noise at this year's Mr. Olympia. The more aesthetic guys can come in super hard in condition, I believe they can get past a lot of bigger guys who don't necessarily hit the mark, such as Akeem Williams. In our next update of the day, we have a story courtesy of Buys and Tries, and it appears that Cedric Mcmillan will be competing at the upcoming Legion show in October. And that is very interesting because you guys know that Cedric was supposed to compete in the Arnold Classic, but I believe he was still dealing with some hand injuries, and his doctor just recommended against it. But if you guys don't know, there's another guy doing this show that was in the Arnold Classic, and that's Maxx Charles. So Maxx Charles will be in this lineup as well. I'm pretty sure Cedric is going to be a favorite, but since I've been into bodybuilding, this is going to be my first time actually getting to watch Cedric on stage. I've only been in the sport for about a year or two, so I'm very excited to see what he's going to bring. Also, Sergio Oliva Jr. announced that he will be doing a Legion show as well, as he felt like he didn't bring his best to the Arnold Classic. I actually felt like he brought his worst. So here was another post courtesy of Buys and Tries. You guys can pause it to read it if you want. But Sergio is essentially saying that in open bodybuilding, they aren't respecting posing, and he's usually about 290, 300, maybe even 300 plus in the off season, and he puts so much work into these posing routines, and just seemed like he doesn't get much credit. So Sergio claims that he's going to stop doing posing routines, but in all honesty, I believe that this is just kind of to wake some people up, and I believe the judges will pay more attention to it, hopefully, because I definitely love the posing in bodybuilding as well as Sergio Oliva Jr. And I'm excited to see Sergio, Cedric, as well as Maxx Charles on the stage at the Legion. And in our next story of the day, we're going to take a look at Nathan D'Asha. And I honestly believe Nathan may be the most underrated athlete in men's open bodybuilding. I believe he's even more underrated than James Hollingshead. Nathan can definitely come in and place as high as top four, top five at this year's Mr. Olympia. I believe his highest placing in the past is seventh. But Nathan will be competing at the upcoming Arnold Sports UK. I wasn't planning on covering the show. I was probably gonna do the coverage after the show on who won and the placings. But you guys let me know in the comment section below if you actually want me to fully cover the Arnold Sports UK. There's prediction videos, prejudging, and all. I have Nathan as my favorite to win the show, and Samson Duada, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Another hostile athlete will also be there. Tim Budashim and Patrick Johnson. I looked him up on Instagram, and I'm actually pretty excited to see what he's gonna bring to the stage. So Nathan is my favorite, but let me know if you guys want a full coverage of this show. Otherwise, I'll be just doing a wrap up. In our next story of the day, we get this physique update from Chris Bumstead at, what are we, a little less than 2 weeks out from the Mr. Olympia? Actually, almost a week out from the Mr. Olympia. But Chris is looking pretty shredded here, man. I don't really have much to say on Chris because you guys know I'm pretty sure that Chris is going to come in and win another title this year, but it's always nice to put the defending champ in the video. So, in our last story of the day, we're actually going to talk about Angel Calderon, who is a 212 athlete. And these pictures recently surfaced of him on Instagram looking crazy, man. And it seems like the 212 division may be in trouble. I'm not going to lie. I was looking at the pictures that he posted last year leading up to the Mr. Olympia, and I had Angel ranked up pretty high. But I believe he got second call out last year. He just didn't look as good when he was compared with some of the top guys. But looking at these photos, man, he may be a dark horse going into the show this year. And he may be able to shock some guys, you know. With guys like Keon Pearson still not getting into the best shape, the 212 is a very conditioned division, man. And you can't really come in off where a lot of these guys can pass you up. So maybe Angel's able to get in that first call out this year, man. But just from looking at these two photos, I had to put them in the video. So watch out. That's going to be the video for today, you guys. I hope you did indeed enjoy it. Like, comment, and sub. I'm out.